Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. We have got ourselves a good old TvZ, a bit of an epic rivalry as well today. Some more Korean Starcraft 2, so the best of the best. In the top left-hand side of the map, we have got, playing for a freak at Starcraft 2, it's soO. And taking on soO, it's going to be INnoVation in the bottom right-hand side of the map. INnoVation, of course, a Terran player who is considered one of the best of all time as far as Terran. He's been consistent for a long time now, won multiple tournaments over multiple years. However, soO has also been one of the best Zergs for quite a long time too. He's always a monster, he's always a contender in any tournament that he plays in, and that's one of the things that makes him so exciting. The map we have for this TvZ is going to be Death Aura, which is an exciting one. These new maps have been out quite a while now, however, still learning the ropes of them a little bit here and there, so it's good to watch how INnoVation and soO are going to play on the map. Now, INnoVation is looking pretty good lately as far as what we've seen of him. You can kind of just expect a bare level of play from INnoVation and soO, and these guys have played a lot in the past. INnoVation and soO have met in the finals for tournaments before multiple times. As a matter of fact, they constantly play each other. I think they've even done some show matches and things like that, and so INnoVation and soO are no strangers to playing against each other, so we'll see what strategy they're going to bring out as that zoomy SCV moves through the middle of the map. Just going to be going for that SCV Scout. The Terran SCV Scout is incredibly common these days. There was a time in which Terrans were so stubborn about not SCV Scouting against Zergs, but now guys like INnoVation will do it all the time, which is a bold statement because guys like INnoVation do like to cut corners in their play when possible. However, pretty much all the best Terrans consistently go for it now, which is a bit of a breath of fresh air. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this video, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Let's try and break 50 likes for this video. Of course, if you enjoy the content, go ahead and subscribe as well. Taking a look, we have got Hellions probably going to be on the way for INnoVation. I say Hellions before they even start building, just because of the fact that he's building a reactor on his barracks, floating over his factory. Technically, he could make something else. However, that would be very unorthodox for the most part. INnoVation displaying his Terran skill prowess by pulling that mule off the patch before it finishes mining and dies with money in its hand. That is another sign that someone has reached peak Terran to be able to do that without any hiccups or anything like that. Now, Hellions are on the way for INnoVation, gonna be moving those out. Just for starters, there's also the Reaper out on the map, giving soO a little bit of grief. I feel like I've mainly just been talking about INnoVation, however, soO, while this is going on, is just macroing up, getting up his third base, getting up Ling speed, still mining a bit of gas notably, so probably going to be getting a decently timed lair, I imagine, with building up over 100 extra gas. He's got to have to be spending this on something rather soon. What that'll be, that's the question. Most likely just going to be a lair, I imagine, because of the current ZVT meta. INnoVation, though, starting to move it on the map, poke and prod with his Hellions a little bit. He's got a fusion core about to finish up, which is quite significant. I was going to turn the focus to soO for a little bit, however, when the Terran's going for a Battlecruiser rush, it is something that you generally want to point out, as it is one of those builds which players will still straight up die to. Even the best of the best like soO sometimes sleep on the Battlecruisers a little bit too much, then all of a sudden there's a bunch of Hellions, there's a Battlecruiser teleporting on top of their insignificant number of queens, and then they'll just lose the game. Now, INnoVation is trying to force his way in here with his Hellions. So far, it's going pretty good for him. We'll see how many drones he's able to get. soO, pretty darn good at pulling his drones away from the Hellions. However, a few rallied out into those Hellions do perish. There's going to be more dying as these Hellions are just being chased by queens in the main base. So 9 drones in all. Honestly, 9 drones, everything getting cleaned up is not great for soO. However, it's within the realm of acceptability. The reason I say that is because simply, yeah, simply all there is to it is the fact that INnoVation spent a lot on those. Like, 6 Hellions and a Reaper actually costs more than 9 drones to make. So soO's not going to be too far behind. He doesn't have to worry about those Hellions anymore. He will have to deal with a Battlecruiser, and he does have 6 Queens to do so. The problem is his Queens aren't joined up. The Battlecruiser teleports right on into the main base. The Queens for soO are going to pop on in. The BC going to target down a drone or 2, I imagine. But so far, it looks like a pretty solid defense from the Zerg player. Queens push the BC away. Only 2 extra drones dying. Very, very good for soO. Now, while this game is going to be going on, INnoVation is just powering up behind this on 2 bases, going for a 2-base, 5 barracks play. So a very, very aggressive follow-up from the Terran, and this is going to be an incredibly aggressive follow-up from INnoVation. The telltale sign for that, the fact that he's making Marines out of these barracks, but he hasn't even made add-ons yet. He just wants pure bulk to come out. He wants to hit a timing which soO isn't quite ready for. soO says, oh, okay, maybe you're building another Battlecruiser. You're probably building your 3rd, securing that up. That's false. Right now, all INnoVation's doing is just pumping out Marines for the most part. We see... Yeah, I mean, we see just nothing else out on the map for INnoVation that soO has seen, so he's really playing in the dark, which is quite risky. The Terran player is going to have a very significant bulk to move out on the map with. I mean, look at this, 18 Marines, they're going to have Stim, a siege tank with them. soO's making a couple of Roaches, however, those Roaches are not going to be done in time. He's even making Corruptors, maybe worried about the Battlecruisers, maybe just wanting some anti-air, but those units are not going to do much against +1 Marines in this quantity with Medivac support, siege tanks getting set up. soO needs to make a lot more Roaches, and we're starting to see that just now. However, I still feel he doesn't understand the severity of the attack that's about to hit him. He's making more and more Roaches, but in comes INnoVation. He's got a lot of Stim Marines. He's going to teleport the Battlecruiser forward, so the Corruptors are going to have to do something about this. But look at this. Tanks coming in too is going to make this a big deal. The Queens are here for soO to try and even the playing field. The Queens are pretty good in lower unit engagements like this due to the fact that they're so tanky. So maybe soO's going to be fine after all. He did just run into a nasty supply block as he fires up 8 Overlords, which is not ideal for the Zerg player. We see all these Marines are now moving out on the map for INnoVation. Just rallying across, all the while soO going for a Ling counterattack. So the Terran's going for blood. soO's already thinking about a counterattack. We'll see if he's going to be able to hold on or if he's just going to die here. I mean, look at this concave. Look at the damage output of this bio. The Battlecruiser is probably going to fall, but the tanks are getting set up for INnoVation. There's no Banelings for soO to help clean this up. He's going to have to rely on good corrosive biles, on good trades with just his Ravagers targeting down Marines. But this looks like a lot of Terran right now. soO's bringing the Lings from behind. Instead of going for the counterattack, he's going to go for the surround. INnoVation pushes forward. I'm not sure who's going to win this fight. It's close. The Ling counterattack was good. The Marine numbers are starting to thin out, so things might teeter towards being more effective for the Roaches and Ravagers. However, there is not a lot left here for the Zerg player. Not a lot left for the Terran. It's going to be close. The hatchery is dangerously close to dying for soO, and it looks like it will perish, so the Zerg player gets knocked down to 3 bases. That being said, INnoVation's tech has been drastically delayed. He's only just getting add-ons on these extra barracks now. There's no 3rd base. It's just starting up for him. There's no 2-2 on the way. +1 armor is just about to finish. There's no armory. So INnoVation does still want to try and get something done this game. soO can absolutely play this out from this position. Okay, concussive shells now on the way for INnoVation as he's maybe going to start making a few Marauders to help himself out. He's getting that 3rd. I mean, I'm still not sure who's in the lead right now. INnoVation's army isn't bad against just Roach Ling. However, it's not an ideal Terran production setup that he's got. With such a late 3rd, he can't afford to keep everything going at these times. He's not going to be able to afford to get his 2-2 off of 2 bases while his 3rd's building. It's going to be rather uncomfortable for INnoVation, particularly if he gets caught out on the map by all these Roaches and Ravagers. Mainly due to the fact that INnoVation is actually so heavy just on the Marines and tanks. If the tanks are unsieged, the Marines will not stand against this much Roach Ravager that soO has. soO is reestablishing his 4th base. All the while, INnoVation is about to have his 3rd base done. He's just locking this place down with all of his siege tanks. So the game may continue on and stabilize a little bit. We take a look, INnoVation, he's getting up an armory, so he will be able to start his 2-2 at a reasonable time still. soO, however, has also managed to squeeze something out, though. It's going to be the Infestation Pit, which is a very, very good tech for the Zerg. This could lead to Infestors, which will do incredibly well against such a bio-heavy composition like INnoVation has. There's the +2 attack. Will we see the +2 armor for INnoVation? Yes, we do, so those upgrades are going. So he will have a potential upgrade lead coming down the line. And INnoVation has had a lot of success in the past in Starcraft 2 when it comes to using just 2-2 Marine tank Marauder pushes effectively. Alright, INnoVation's moving forward. He's going to try and crack down these rocks. soO sees this coming and he's going to say, oh, I got to deal with this somehow. The tank count's definitely going to be a little bit concerning. We'll see if soO's going to be able to take a fight before these tanks are set up. Looks like he's moving forward, but not going to take a fight. Just trying to goad INnoVation into some bad trades. INnoVation, though, is actually just standing against this and eating quite a few nasty corrosive biles. Those were some big biles for soO. The Zerg player is also just making more and more lings. He's getting out Ravagers. More and more Ravagers too, which are quite good at picking off these bio units. And as long as soO keeps his production up, he should be fine. He's 4 bases. He's getting up a 5th base as well, getting up a hive while this is going on. INnoVation is still going to be pretty pressured to make something happen, unless we see a 4th base get thrown up. INnoVation still moving forward with his very high tank count that he's been building for the majority of this game. soO is going to be under a little bit of pressure now. However, INnoVation does have to leapfrog quite a ways before he's going to be able to get some good damage done. Alright, these tanks getting set up. soO going to try and move down the ramp. Corrosive Ball's definitely going to hit the tanks. Hits 2 of the tanks. Quite a nice trade for the Zerg player. INnoVation trying to kite back to the tanks, but so far, soO has been doing a good enough job moving forward. Corrosive Balling down tanks, taking good trades. INnoVation's going to have to shuffle these other tanks forward. However, there is always a chance that soO will just get some good corrosive biles off here and just push INnoVation a little bit further back. 2-2 is about to finish up for INnoVation. This is going to be very significant before the Terran player takes a fight. He's moving forward with his army. Both players are near maxed out. INnoVation's feeling the pressure to push in hard. soO's Baneling count is growing, but he's actually going to take the fight. INnoVation's +2 attack is finished. His +2 armor has now just completed. The Banelings are rolling forward, though the tanks are getting shots off, but this is a lot of Zerg here. INnoVation's supply has dropped. soO's has also dropped, but the Terran player does seem to be repelled here. He's kiting back with his Marines and Marauders. The upgrades are doing them well. He's running back to one of his siege tanks, but it looks like it's just not going to be enough for INnoVation. He's going to have to go home. He's going to have to reconsolidate. But if soO took that fight that well, even being down on upgrades, he's going to have a lot of time now while he rebuilds his supply, whereas INnoVation is going to take so long to rebuild his supply. He decides to throw up 3-3 upgrades, just realizing he's not going to be able to kill soO. At the same time, though, if we take a look, INnoVation, he's just so broke. 56 SCVs is not a lot to replace his army. Marines are going to shoo those Corruptors away, so he saves that location. But we see INnoVation just says, alright, I got to do something. So he's going to float over his main base to be his new 4th base, keep that mining going, play the defensive game, and hopefully hold out till he's got 3-3, till he's got a better economy, better production, something like that. INnoVation hasn't been trying to drop this game, which I understand. He's been so focused on the big pushes. However, maybe now's the time which he'd want to be considering trying to get a drop back to pull soO's attention away. There's nothing of that sort, though, so we're just going to see soO move forward. He's going for a big push. INnoVation trying to hold on. He's got a very Marauder-heavy composition, but there is a lot of Zerg pushing forward right now. Can INnoVation hold on? It's a pretty good concave for him, but in comes more Lings. In come the Ravagers, getting pickoffs on these bio units. There's not too much left for INnoVation. He's trying to hold on. He's kiting back, but the Corruptors, they're picking off Medivacs. The Lings are now spilling forward. INnoVation's supply is dropping. GG gets called as soO takes the game. Well played. Well played indeed by soO. Nicely done by the Zerg player. Really solid game, I'll say, from soO. And it just goes to show in StarCraft 2, sometimes, even if you commit and get something done, it's not enough. It depends on what your opponent's doing. And so, even earlier in the game, when INnoVation killed off soO's base, you'd think, oh, that's really good for the Terran, killing off a base this early for the Zerg. However, INnoVation had committed so much to get that done that it didn't justify it. Since soO had the 4th base, his economy built up, and then INnoVation just kept going down that route of attack, attack, attack. He never established a good economy, and then in the end, once soO held the big attack, he was just golden. And that was the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel by pressing that subscribe button, join the Discord, which is linked in the description, and then if you do want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. That is also linked in the description. I'll see you next time. This has been LaughNgamez. Thanks for watching.